Okay, so a fun fact that people don't know about me is that me and my business partner Kamran Sheikh, we were into commercial real estate from 2013 all the way up to like think 2017. So the investor I was working with, we actually acquired around 17 buildings, and he was majorly into plots and floors. And nothing people don't understand, real estate has several divisions. There is residential, commercial, leasing, property management. Every division is separate. And if you don't focus, so when people contact me saying, okay, Zohaib, I want to develop a project, I say I'm not an expert, right? But then now there's been, the market dynamics have changed. There has been a surge in requirements. So today I'd like to introduce you to an expert, a consultant herself. She's Dr. Aisha. Dr. Aisha is a professor herself. She's a consultant. She works for one of the biggest agencies called Visionary. Visionary is one of the best agencies in Dubai. Amazing people. I've personally worked with them since 2009. I know they've existed like forever. So, hello, Dr. Aisha.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
So you really caught my attention when you mentioned about, so she mentioned about two hotels for sale, and I was in shock because of the price.
Price, definitely.
So on the palm, right on the at the trunk, the Hilton.
Yes.
And so this is on West Beach. So this is right next to the giants like Five Palm, Marriott, like all the giants. A hotel for sale for 420 million.
Yes.
Like it was shocking because I think a villa got sold last month for 600 million.
Yes.
And so imagine a whole hotel being sold for 420 million. And she offered me a hotel for sale in Marjan Island,
Awesome.
right at the doorstep of Wynn Casino, a Rove hotel for around same.
Around the same price, yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna just give it over straight to you. Your view on commercial real estate and the profits, and why did you choose? Like, see, everyone
Yeah.
nowadays, every agent, non-agent. I mean, now my salon guy is also after me saying he wants to become an agent. Every day, I can't have to change my salon. He said, "Listen, Zahib, I know to speak Arabic.
Yes.
Give me Arabic clients." And I'm like, yes, okay, relax. I will just,
Yeah.
Why did you choose commercial real estate?
Because number one, how I see sales is it's the same amount of hard work,
Okay.
and in the end, whatever you're reaping, right? Now, in commercial real estate, I have actually one of the best managers who is my mentor and
Okay.
who is teaching me all of this.
Okay.
So I have all the support from number one, my own company.
Okay.
My manager has been supporting me in this. And I've recently basically come to acquire these two hotels that you've mentioned.
Okay.
One is in Palm Jumeirah. I'm not going to tell the name.
Okay.
If anyone's interested, they definitely can contact
Of course.
us, right?
Of course.
That's on West Beach. And from the hotel, you can actually see Coco Bay and February 30th. That's where everyone goes on the weekends. Yeah.
You've done briefly the numbers because before we get into the, what sort of ROI can a person expect from an investment like this?
Now, the projections that we have,
Okay.
if I can start with, do you want to start with Palm or do you want to start with the Ras Al Khaimah?
Both. We can start with Palm. Let's start with Palm.
When we're looking at Palm, it's a brand new hotel, and the operations they started December 2024.
Okay.
Brand new hotel. Now they have acquired Hilton to do the management.
Okay.
We're looking roughly in the next 5 years, we're looking, starting from the first year, we're looking at around 10% return,
Okay.
which is going to be settling on about 8%
Okay.
in the longer run. Yeah.
8%, but net ROI.
Net.
And is this the case with Marjan as well?
Marjan is how I see, because the numbers that we've done, conservative, are the same right now.
Okay.
But I do see that Wynn Casino is going to be launched in 2027.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
And Ras Al Khaimah has the license of gaming till 2029 exclusive. No other emirate can have the gaming in the UAE except for Ras Al Khaimah until 2029. Once that license ends, then all the other emirates, they can actually pop up. with their casinos. So
That's interesting news. That's
Yes.
interesting news.
So the conservative numbers that we've done is starting from about 8%. It'll go up to 10% is how I see. But the game is going to change after Wynn Casino is launched.
Correct.
And you must have heard about the Wynn effect.
No, I haven't.
No. Wynn, basically, it started from Vegas.
Okay, yes.
And now Wynn Casino has been in Malaysia. And it has been in 4 other countries. And everywhere Wynn Casino has gone, the property prices have risen from 25 to 75%.
Wow, that's interesting.
And that is what normally the economists have called the Wynn effect.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And that is what we're expecting over here. Now, when
Okay.
I'm seeing that, so anything that anyone has invested right now is definitely going to be recovered in those 2 years, from 27 to 29, when the only casino in the UAE is going to be Wynn. And
Okay.
that is Wynn. We're not talking about any small casino over here. And Wynn does not just bring in casino, it brings in the whole experience of Vegas.
Absolutely.
It's going to change, it's going to transform the whole island.
That was my question actually. Like in terms of, I don't think, Vegas, there's a massive difference, right? Like the
Understood.
culture,
Certainly.
the narcotics, what do I say?
Yeah, don't say
What do I
it.
say? Okay.
Things that are not allowed here.
Right, so things that are not allowed here. So I don't think it's going to be something else. I don't know how to.
I don't know why I see it very differently.
Yes.
Because let's talk about sociology over here.
Okay.
The culture these days now, with there could be a lot of things disagreeable about Gen Zs and Gen Alphas and everyone. But one thing that I've been observing across the board is they are saying no to alcohol. They are saying no to the other substances.
They are?
They are, yes.
Who Gen Alpha?
Yes, Gen Zs and Gen Alphas they're more addicted to other stuff, technology,
Understood.
rather than that.
Okay.
And another thing, mostly, I mean, when you are basically gaming, the most suitable beverage with it would be alcohol, and that is allowed over here. Now, that is one thing. Looking at the geographical location of UAE and the way Dubai is attracting everyone.
Oh, it is.
So
Absolutely.
how I see it is because honestly speaking, not everyone even gets the visa to US.
That is
Most
true.
people get rejected.
That is true.
Okay?
That is
For
true.
one reason or the other, if Trump is there and half people are blocked, if another person's there, half people are blocked, so on and so forth. UAE is open, especially for tourism, UAE is open.
Correct.
Now, if you have that experience, I'm not going to say it's going to be a replica. They would try to replicate Vegas, but again, it will have the UAE touch. It will have, like in Qatar, FIFA happened, but they gave the Qatar touch.
The Arabic touch.
They gave the Arabic touch,
Yeah.
and everyone appreciated it.
I think
everyone was
they did.
questioning it,
Yes.
right? Everyone was actually skeptical. Most probably us also. We
Correct.
were also skeptical that are they going to pull it off? But the way they pulled it off
Was graceful.
they've set an example for anyone now who's going to be doing it.
I think the ultra luxury crowd would really enjoy the experience once they had. I think we're going a bit off topic.
Yes.
We are going a bit off. Okay,
But
so
if I could just say one thing,
Yes.
final. Most people are right now going to Georgia. They're going to European countries, to those tiny casinos for the experience.
Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
Sri Lanka. I've got most of my friends. They go to
But
Sri
I
Lanka.
mean, but the experience is not the Vegas experience.
Absolutely not. Yes,
And we know that UAE will pull it off.
of course.
Simple.
Of course.
Yes.
So
back to the topic?
I think we'll come back to because where I met Aisha at the Fairmont. So we're discussing about potential casinos, but I think that's a different topic. We'll
That's a
get
different topic, yeah.
So hotels are great. So last year I was last video I was talking about plots. Okay, and then we were discussing about plots as well. We'll get to hotels, but your views on plots in terms of where do you think is a sensible investment at this stage in terms of plots?
Dubai. Seriously, keep laughing. I will stand on this point. When you say, where is a sensible investment? I say Dubai. Why? Because I'm futuristic. I look at what Dubai is planning because Dubai does not think about today. Dubai has already forgotten yesterday. All they think about is tomorrow. Okay? Right now, in 2024, they already have Vision 2040, right?
Correct. See, but then the investor has to make money today, or let's say see, a plot is not a simple investment,
Yes.
right? I think negotiations itself take at least a month or two,
I was in a meeting today in morning.
right? And so I remember selling buildings. There was once a case, 9 months of
9 months, yeah.
negotiation,
It's
9
like
months.
you actually gave birth to a baby.
Yes,
Yeah.
9 months for just a 120 million deal. 9 months of negotiation.
Yes.
In fact, there was once a time I was going to sell Ramada Hotel in Barsha,
Okay.
and it was a 400 million deal, very similar. But you know why the deal backed off? Somebody asked me for 100 million kickback. They'll do a top up of 100.
Oh, that's also, but that's part of our business. We have to deal with this
These
also.
situations. So
Yes.
then I think so. This was me. How many years? Like 10 years ago, right? So
You
now.
were a baby then.
Yes,
huh?
I couldn't handle that kind
Yeah.
of situation. But I think the deal backed off because the owner said that he's going to change it from leasehold to freehold, and we couldn't achieve it on time.
Yeah.
And so these deals are very fickle.
Oh,
they're
they
very
are.
it's very complex.
And that's why there's big money involved in it.
Yes.
I mean, they're very delicate. You have to be very vigilant, and you have to be basically on top of the market. You have to be on top of your own client. You have to be sure about the entire process because you are the facilitator. As a broker, we are the facilitators in it. Yeah.
So about the process. Let's why I'm talking about where in Dubai is because let's say the investor acquires the land.
Okay.
And after that, there are procedures, right? Like NOCs, submitting the designs, getting the designs approved,
MOPs.
getting mobility, just mobilizing all the assets to the plot, get the
Yes.
construction started. And not every, so now the difference between the big developers and the new developer is that the big developer has everything running on a cycle,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So for him, he can get into sales mode even before anything, right? Empty plot and Ellington is sold out or Damac is sold out, right?
Yes.
But a new developer, that's not the case. He has to.
They don't have a market recognition at the moment. They
About
need that.
20% he has to deposit in
Yes, escrow.
escrow. So
To
20% has to deposit in escrow. And I think how much would he have to build to start sales?
No, they can start off without even the groundbreaking.
They can start sales.
They can start the sales. Once you have the escrow in line,
Okay.
then the sales can start.
But where do you think a newcomer? I don't think newcomers are coming. I think people who have construction or developer experience in their countries want to
They are newcomers.
test.
I want to clarify one thing over here. You can have a very good portfolio, a very beautiful portfolio in your own country. In UAE, you're a newcomer. Especially Dubai, you're a newcomer.
Correct.
So the developers, they got to understand this. I have dealt with a couple of such clients who have a huge portfolio back home. I have one client actually from India who's a big developer in India. And then there's one from Pakistan also. And they, when they walked into our office, I'm like, oh, we have this, we have that, we have done this. We're not like, okay, yes, we highly respect you. Good. And, we were working on the negotiation for them. And they were like, oh, I don't think you understand who we are. Walked out, went around the whole Dubai,
Came back.
wasted 2 weeks. Like literally, they wasted 15 days of their life. And then they came back and they were like, you know what? I think we understand now. I was like, okay, we know what you understand now. Let's sit down and talk. So because Dubai, not just in terms of regulations, not just in terms of the government, even in terms of the buyer, Dubai is different. We are not the same people anymore as we were back home. Dubai has transformed us also, right? Even the end user has completely changed. Now, I'm going to basically take you back to the first statement that you said. That plot, it's a big investment, but it's a long-term investment. It's not a short-term investment, okay? So when you're buying a plot at any rate, it is going to appreciate in a longer run. Why? Because a plot is just a piece of land. Construction goes in stages, starts from groundbreaking. Okay. Then even before groundbreaking, you have the drawings. You have to get the drawings done. The drawings take approval. Once you get the approval, then you have to start off with the groundbreaking, and then there's a construction. So you're going through the whole off-plan process. Then you come to the delivery part. Once you deliver, then there is there's a resale also, because now mostly in off-plan, the projects are sold.
Correct.
And as you said, the bigger developers in the first few weeks or in the first day, in one day, the entire project is being sold. Why? Because they're the bigger developers. They have established their names for 40 years, 25 years, 30 years, this. And half of them are semi-government.
Correct.
So they have no issues, right?
Correct.
Now, for a new developer, they got to understand that, first of all, the prime that people ask for, prime plots are not for them. If they want them, it's value for money. You want the value, you pay for it. So if you're going for a prime plot, please, if you have 400 million, and if you have a conversation of 400 million, talk to me. Otherwise, I'm not going to waste your time. I'm not going to waste my time. Okay. And why I said, when you asked me what is the best location, and I said Dubai, I'm just going to skim through just a few numbers, because, when I said Vision 2040, I know everyone knows, oh, Vision 2040. Now, Dubai is going to be divided into 5 clusters.
Okay.
Right? So it is going to, I made some notes. I'm going to.
Sure.
So Dera and the entire area over there, it is actually going to be a cultural hub. So they are going to establish a lot of cultural heritage and everything. They are going to be basically working more on that. DIFC is going to be your financial hub. DIFC, Business Bay, Sheikh Zayed, all of this belt is going to be your financial hub. JBR, Marina, Palm will become your entertainment hub.
Okay.
Then Expo 2020 will become your economic hub.
Okay.
And lastly, the Silicon Oasis, Dubai Silicon Oasis, will become your IT hub.
Okay.
So Dubai is just divided, the entire Dubai is basically divided into 5 clusters.
Okay.
Now, I'll quickly run you through the numbers.
Okay.
2040 vision is the green areas will be doubled, more than that, 105% increase in the green areas all over Dubai. Okay. There will be an increase of 25% in educational and healthcare facilities in Dubai.
Okay.
Then 1.7 billion square feet of land will only be dedicated to industrial and economic activities, factories, and all this. Economic free zones are going to be there. 60% of land will be dedicated to natural reserves like mangroves and all of those.
Understood.
Okay. Then the positive part for the developers and anyone is they want to expand the beach areas by 400%. So if you know that Dubai Island, if you know about Dubai Island, right?
Yes.
That's the first. That's Island A. There are going to be 4 more islands, A, B, C, D. There are going to be 4 islands, which they are erecting from the sea to increase the beachfront. Okay. And then there is going to be a 134% increase in hospitality and tourism.
I think this is very important because actually some of my investors told us, I think one thing that Dubai is actually missing is like big, like hospitals are great, but they need some of the best doctors. Like,
we need best universities and we need best
doctors. Like for example, I had recently had some doctors come in from Australia. So he was telling me about how he had a knee problem and he himself was a surgeon and he was looking all around Dubai. Then he found the right doctor in Abu Dhabi from US, and Dr. Brown. Similarly, and then he was like, see, Dubai is great, but we need universities at the level of, let's say, Harvard and Oxford.
We need those universities, not at the level.
Yes,
we need them coming here.
We need those universities coming here.
And they will be. No, actually, why I said, if I could just complete this, why I said all of this was that when I am looking at Dubai in 2040, I am looking at more green area, which is a government property. Okay, I'm looking at more educational and healthcare facilities, government property. I'm looking at 1.7 billion square feet of industrial free zones, government property, and I'm looking at natural reserves 60%.
See, I understand.
So where is the land left? Tell me.
See, I understand this part, but see, at the end of the day, an investor is time bound, right? See, if I buy a plot today, I don't care. 2040 is great for me. 2025, I've bought a plot.
Yeah.
Okay. And see, another thing people have to understand. Let's say 400 million is a lot. What is the minimum amount someone needs to have?
Well, you can start with 50 million.
50 million, you're saying you can acquire
a plot.
But the project cost is different.
Project cost is definitely different. We're just talking land.
Only land to construct a building.
Yes.
A G+.
So if you're going, let's say, I'm going to give you some numbers for Dubai Island because I'm currently focusing on that. The prices are basically between 500 to 550 per square feet.
Okay.
Which on average gives me about 50 to 55 million for a start, and they're going up to 120.
Okay, so 55 million.
Okay,
let's take 55 million, and then construction costs. We're looking at what, 300 to 400 dirham per square foot.
construction cost would be around 400, yeah. And the projected sales of Dubai Island are about 2,200 per square feet.
That's really good profit.
Yes.
That's really
So
good.
within 4 years, you're actually getting that profit.
Oh, but it depends on the sale. Oh, yes, because even the profit is on stages. They're selling it.
It's
Okay,
on
understood.
stage.
Understood.
You're selling it on off plan. Okay. So you are already recovering the money on which you are constructing it.
Okay.
So it's basically the upfront investment is only for the land. Most of my personal clients, the sellers of the plots, they already have their drawings approved. So if you want to start off with a project, you can actually contact me. I have a couple of plot owners who have the drawings already approved. All you have to do is pay off the money and then start the construction.
In Dubai Islands?
In Dubai Island, yeah.
And you were mentioning to me about a plot.
I have multiple locations.
In Barari?
Yes. No, not in Barari.
Not Barari, but
Majan.
Majan.
It's right on the edge of Barari.
On the edge of Barari.
Yes.
And then, but the price of the plot was
220.
220.
220.
Oh, this is massive. Oh, yeah, I forgot.
It's a massive, and it has the drawings approved, and it is a high rise, G plus 45.
And you mentioned potentially the owner has collaboration with
Armani, yeah.
Okay,
Branding.
that is insane.
So if they go with a JV,
right,
then the branding is going to be done by Armani. You're right on the edge of Barari. So, there's an exit between Barari and Majan from within.
Right.
So right on that entrance, I have the plot over there.
I have some investors who do this. They do JVs with developers like MTRs and some other developers. So they do JVs, and that's also a very interesting business model.
Because the plot is actually with one of my developer investor.
Okay.
So if they don't get a JV, they will be starting the
Which
construction
reminds me,
themselves.
actually, Malik Riaz entered the market. That was big news.
That is big
That is
news.
very, very big news for Pakistan, actually.
Yes, it is. And he is planning to have quite a lot of developments
In
all
Dubai
around.
South, that was big news for Pakistan, actually. Because I'm also used to seeing a lot of Indian developers from India coming in.
Yes.
But Malik Roy has come to Pakistan. I think that will give a lot of faith to the investors because if someone like Malik Riaz has to invest in Dubai, that itself is a very strong economic indicator for you guys.
Exactly.
Right.
That's true.
So your focus, you're saying that, okay, if it's a new, let's say, developer, Dubai Islands is a great location to target.
I would say Dubai Island is number one, and South.
South of Dubai?
I have all my faith in South.
Okay.
Why? Because I see the entire Dubai moving towards that side. Now, just a couple of things. First of all, Palm Jabal Ali being inaugurated.
Okay.
By whom?
Of course.
Right?
The man.
Yes.
Yes.
So if he is endorsing it, he has faith in it. He wants Dubai to expand to that side.
Yes.
We know Emirates headquarters are moving to South. We know World Trade Center is moving to South. We know world's largest airport is in Dubai South. 4 of the main things are basically moving towards
So South, what can you give me an example of a plot that you have? An interesting plot, the price?
I have 2 buildings which are for sale.
Okay.
And they're both for about 55 million each. They're completely tenanted.
Okay.
All done. Those, apart from that, I have acquired a couple of plots. I can share those details if
just an approximate price. See, because if we put the price out there, like a potential, yes.
The pricing can range between 35 till 65.
35 to 65 million. And okay, we'll get into the GFA, all of those details, FAR, we'll get into specifics later. Like, see how we mentioned, okay, the price per square foot is 550 in Dubai Islands. Let's say around 400 dirhams.
Say 495 to 550.
495 to 550. Construction cost is, let's say, around 400.
Yeah.
And the potential selling price, we're looking at around 2,200.
2,200.
In fact, I see most of the developers selling with around 3,000 dirham per square foot. I think 2,200 is conservative.
Yes, it's very.
Dubai South, what are the numbers we're looking at? Just the same style. Price per square foot is?
Price per square foot in Dubai South, you can get between 1,200 to 1,500.
Okay.
Right now.
Okay.
That's why I'm saying it's a good investment, because it is going to boom a lot. We already know that Expo City is, being encouraged and everything right now, because people feel like South is far away. And number 2, South was always considered as an industrial free zone. That's why a lot of people never felt like it was a residential area.
Correct.
But now, because Emaar has entered there, Emaar has created an entire community over there. And wherever Emaar goes, it just establishes communities.
Absolutely.
So when you say South, the only thing that comes to your mind is Emaar South, right? And Emaar being there, one thing. Palm Jabal Ali being inaugurated by the man, is another thing, right? So over there right now, the pricing, I would say, is starting from 1,200 to 1,500 per square feet, which is very good.
No, wait. For the plot.
South plots, I have to confirm.
Okay, to come back to. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So because see, I just want to give that, because I think the south plots would be between around 220, 300 dirham per square foot.
Yes.
And south, I don't think the construction quality has to be as high as Dubai Islands, because Dubai Islands is being.
Nakheel is supervising it.
Yeah,
so Nakheel has really tight guidelines for Dubai Island.
Correct. So I think because see, in south, I think the construction cost can also go down to 300, 350.
It can, but plus, in south, it's all like, it's not basically being controlled by any one developer.
Right.
Like when you talk about Dubai Islands, it's an inventory of Nakheel.
Correct.
And Nakheel has a certain benchmark that
Correct.
it has created, and has a certain standard that it needs to maintain. So the guidelines that Nakheel has basically given out for Dubai Islands, it's very tight. Even for the developers, they have a certain timeline, they have a certain quality, there's a certain height. So FAR is very limited between 2.5 to 3.3. You can't go any higher than that. G plus 10 is the maximum height you can go in Dubai Islands and everything. But when you go to South, because it's only, you can buy, I have a personal client who bought one plot in Dubai, in South, in I think 2005.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And he's like, I have that plot. I don't know what I'm going to. He doesn't know anything about construction or anything. He says, no, I'll just keep it because I know it'll increase in price. And I'm like, good for you.
But there are rules, right? Like you incur fines. Like there's a timeline.
Yeah. No, but I think in South, they don't have any limit of like time
There's
limit.
no timeline?
I think so, because that's why there are a couple of people who are still holding
On
plots.
to plots, or they just keep paying
But
fines.
yeah, but like, in Dubai Island, they have the regulation that within about 3 months or something, they have to start doing the piling.
What are your thoughts on the conservative locations, like let's say not conservative locations, like let's say JVC, JVT? What are your thoughts?
JVC is saturated.
Oh God, okay. Strong statement. I'm not saying anything.
It's a wrong statement?
Strong statement. Strong statement.
Strong. I thought wrong.
No,
How dare
I didn't
you
say
call
wrong.
me
I said strong.
A woman is always right. Yes. No.
Strong statement.
No,
Okay.
but right now.
I know, I agree, but I stopped saying strong statements. I try to avoid strong statements.
You're like regularly on screen. It's my first time. Spare me.
It's good. It's good. Okay.
But JVC right now is the best for end user.
Okay.
So it's highly in demand. Yes, because of the location, because of everything and all. So end user is highly demanding JVC, but for an investor, they are going to be spending a bit too much. I don't think it's value for money.
No, I resonate with you. I love the concept of like Dubai Islands and Dubai South. I think these two locations for a new investor, I think they're good locations. You just need a good consultant who can guide you with and see, it's not even about consultant. Because she's backed by such a big agency, right? See, I've observed this. When you do such transactions, you need to have either the buyer direct or the seller direct.
Yes.
Normally in such transactions, I've seen there are like a chain of agents, and the deal never goes through. I
went through one just recently.
I forget a chain, because the problem is greed kills the deal. So even if two agents are apart from, let's say you don't have the plot exclusive, okay, the deal, it's very difficult for it to go through.
Absolutely.
Now the reason I was able to conclude many of these transactions was because I had the investors direct. And it was so easy. You won't believe, I closed a 120 million deal in 5 minutes.
That's
five minutes.
That's amazing.
Because I exactly see these buyers, they don't have time to waste.
Yes.
Right? And so they knew that I never call someone.
Yes.
I never call somebody unless it's important. I would never chase you, there's a launch coming. Never, So unless so I told him, hey, listen, this is the price per square foot, this is the location, this is this. So he's like, so he goes through the numbers, I still numbers action. He used to do it like, so this, he does this.
Go ahead.
Done.
Amazing.
That's it, just done, So once all the numbers are clear, these people are very, very serious buyers, they don't have time to waste.
And you're absolutely correct. You have to have at least one end
sorted
with you.
Yes.
Sorted. Because what basically, and I normally get sort of turned off when, there's like, okay, I am the representative, I am their legal advisor, I'm their financial advisor. When these kind of people, they come in, number one, what I feel is it becomes a Chinese whisper.
No, forget this. These are all crooks.
Yes.
They all want money. That's it.
That's why they get
and
involved.
and they have no control of the buyer.
Yes.
They know somebody. So I've got these calls. Okay, that my uncle is a politician. I'm like, good.
Very good.
He has this much of cash, and I'm like, okay.
Yes.
What do I get? And I'm like, first get the buyer.
Yes. Their first question is this.
How much do I get?
Yes.
When they say how much do I get, I know the deal's not going to go through.
Yes, true.
And I'm like, see, listen.
Yeah.
Salam
We keep
alaikum.
them, and that's why you also just keep them hanging. Like, yeah, take it. Once you have anything concrete,
No, it's not going to go
we can-
through. It's not
yeah.
going to go through. It's not going to see unless, like I said, you have the buyer. See,
Or the seller.
exclusive. No, that is why, because she has such a strong
Network.
network and an agency, and these guys, like I said, ARY is one of the biggest groups in Asia. So they're into gold, they're into real estate, they're
And
into media. Now you can understand people who control media potentially control
everything. Yes.
Everything.
Once media says build a wall, there's a wall. Once media says no wall, there is no wall.
And see, when someone controls media, you can imagine what their network is. And that's the network who gets access to such plots and buildings and hotels and everything. So connecting with the right people is extremely important.
And on top of it, I'm very proud of the fact that I'm working with this organization, because this organization that didn't just happen.
Of course not.
It's a struggle of 25 years.
Absolutely,
more than that.
absolutely. Yeah,
Okay?
yeah.
So an entire generation has invested all their sweat and blood to create a name which is highly respected, not just in Pakistan, not just in subcontinent, but all over the world.
So in 2009, when I was working with Emar, ARY's building, so we didn't work with every project, but ARY's building in Dubai Marina, I can't remember its name, I'm so sorry. But
it's in Dubai Marina.
I know it's in Dubai Marina, so I call it the ARY building.
Yes.
And it's on the water. It's on the water. And that was one of the projects we used to work with. And that's only because of his name.
Yes.
Because we trusted the name, we trusted ARY,
Yes.
So that is why it's very important to work with such people.
Absolutely. And that is actually it's giving us that authenticity, number one, and number two, the work ethics that I feel in my organization, they create that trust for our investors as well as the people who work in the organization.
Which brings me to, okay, I'm so sorry. We again drifted. The conversation started as, okay, we were going to talk about the hotels. These two hotels is for sale, around 400 million. One is on the Palm and one is on Wynn Casino.
Yeah.
But I
Next
think
to 2 minutes walk from Wynn Casino.
2 minutes walk from Wynn Casino, an entire hotel. And you know what's interesting?
By the way, we should take a ride. We should go to Ras Al Khaimah. And you treat me with a lunch, and then I'll show you because our hotel is complete.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you a tour of that.
The hotel is complete?
Complete, yes.
Both the hotels.
Both the hotels.
And now what's very interesting is that when you mention the numbers, right, 8 to 10%, I was working with Emirates REIT, Real Estate Investment Trust. Okay, so Emirates has a REIT. And you know what their only condition was? It has to be ready. It has to be an income generating asset, and the number should show 8%. If it's 8%, this REIT would
check. Let's go.
So point is that nowadays so many REITs, so many investment funds are coming to Dubai, and so they look for such assets that generate net. Now the problem is, many people say 8%, say 10%, but there's so many charges involved that it's not realistic numbers.
Yeah.
And for
We've
such
done
a large
all the numbers.
asset,
If you want, I will share the numbers with you.
so let's clarify one more thing. See, what are the documents of such a property? What are the documents you expect from a buyer to show the property? Proof of fund?
Yes, LOI. We need the LOI. That's basically the first thing. Then we start getting into the discussions. And yeah, definitely document of proof
Proof of fund.
Proof of funds and
LOI.
LOI.
So I think, see, these are, again, there are...
And definitely if it's an organization, we need the company profile that solidifies basically your stance that you can pay.
It's very important because when you're dealing with such products, now this is probably why I took a step back from commercial because it was too much pressure in terms of, see, you're dealing with certain kind of people. And I hate being embarrassed. And being,
Strong statement.
being embarrassed in front of such individuals. See, like when I tell my
I get that.
when I tell my investor, hey, I have somebody looking to buy this. It's a serious buyer, and someone comes in who's a time waster. It was and there was just too much pressure. That's probably why I took a step back from commercial real estate. I really enjoyed the ride, and no doubt. Yes,
Can
go
I say
ahead.
something?
Yeah, sure.
I think it's part of the process. I mean, I can understand that if hating or liking a certain thing is basically your discretion, but it happens. I feel like this is part of the process, and somehow I have started enjoying this because I know there are a lot of times. I mean, recently for one of the properties, I was almost at the last stage
Right.
of getting the LOI and finalizing a lot of things. Okay, but then, like you said, the middleman
Messed it up.
messed it up.
100%.
Okay, and then it went back. But to me, it was the experience that gave me a lot of answers, which now I will have for the right buyer.
I'm going to give you the right buyer in terms of.
Please do that.
So I have this developer from Australia.
Okay.
He's originally Indian from Mumbai, and he has a lot of development. So we went to Ras Al Khaimah to pick up a plot, but then I think the prices increased. We were offered somewhere around 550, 600 dirham per square foot,
Okay.
and we just didn't like the
That's
location.
a good price you're getting.
And this guy was speaking to the architects of Marina Bay Sands in Singapore.
Ooh, okay.
The designer. So he's serious. He wanted to create a statement. But then again, a problem is that because it was not my expertise, I sort of took a step back. But I'm going to connect you to this guy, and
We
you
can
can. And then so what we'll
we
do
can, not you can. We can.
we can.
I
So-
believe in collaboration. Yeah.
So I think we'll end. We will the next podcast I want to discuss because I think we ran out of time. The discussion
we?
just went So we are going to talk about the hotels, both the hotels and all the numbers.
All the numbers.
All like what's the potential appreciation we're expecting? Because for me, 400 million entire hotel on the Palm makes complete sense. Same case with Marjan Island.
It's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer. We're going to understand all the numbers and leave
They're branded.
branded.
All 3-star. Okay, branded, complete, already operating. The operations of Misk started December, and operations of my. Can I disclose the brand of the Ras Al Khaimah? I'd prefer not, but you know which one it is.
I know the brand. I know.
right?
Let's not disclose the brand. Let's
Yes.
not disclose the brand.
Yes, I don't want to disclose the brand.
So if it's ready, that means if it's a really big group, then potentially financing is also an option, right?
yes,
If it's a really big group.
it's ready. Yeah.
So I think it's a brilliant investment opportunity. We'll come in our next podcast with all the numbers. If you have any questions, if you have any doubts, if you want to discuss a specific area, plots or buildings or hotels, I think commercial real estate is something that's really emerging. A lot of big entities are entering Dubai.
By the way, I do have ready buildings.
Here we go.
In Motor City. I have them in JVC. I have them in South, like I told you, and I have plots all across.
See, it's great collaborating with a commercial specialist. I've got someone else on board. I'll introduce you to him, Mohammed Al Jabri. So
Okay.
he's on board. He's an Emirati.
Yes.
So he loves commercial real estate as well. So this
I
is
saw
how
his podcast.
this is how
Yeah,
this is how we roll.
lovely.
But I hope you enjoyed the podcast.
I did.
How was your first podcast experience?
In the studio, it's my first, and you know what? I didn't even feel like it.
You didn't
was
feel-
a
it's just conversation, right?
podcast.
It was just conversation.
I couldn't pull your leg as much as I do.
You wanted to,
normally.
yes,
Yeah, I really
thank you.
wanted to.
Okay.
Maybe the next time.
Next time. But next time we're going to come with some serious numbers on the two hotels. I'm really excited about this. And maybe one building. Let me assess the numbers as
Yes.
well. Something that's really juicy and interesting. But thank you for watching.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.